Yeah, I'm trying my best to do this nicely. Okay. Now I'm just trying to present what is called the timelines. Timelines of creation. You know, this is our journey. This is our important factor. Our small little lifetime in this body is not as important as our total journey. Here we have Krishna, and we have Mahā-Viṣṇu, Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, and the super soul. This is the living entity's timeline, which is so complicated. Okay, so now, Krishna has no timeline. He has no time factor. The time factor only comes into use when Mahā-Viṣṇu is then given his, Krishna gives his potency. Now, Krishna is giving his potency to an expansion of him, which is still spiritual. Mahā-Viṣṇu is still spiritual. So now, his potency has not taken a form of material nature. Then he gives his potency, Mahā-Viṣṇu gives his potency to Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu. And the lines that are shown here is the creation and destruction, creation and destruction, creation and destruction. And these are the periods of Mahā-Viṣṇu's breathing. These up and down are the exhalation, which is creation, the holding of his breath, which is the maintenance, and then the inhalation, the destruction. And there has to always be some destruction because everything becomes so complicated. Because of the evil. Because this is a place where evil can be take its place. And evil, you know, it's not like Satan or something like that, but what is the evil? The evil is personal to all of us. And that evil is I and mine. That's all it is. It's just I and mine. I identify myself in such a way, and what I identify myself with is mine. So this I and mine in the time period, in the time factor either of Mahā-Viṣṇu, the time factor even of Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, the time factor of the super soul would be the time factor of the living entity that he's accompanying. So, he's always with us. Our personal super soul is always with us, but we are being exhaled by Mahā-Viṣṇu or Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu. Then we are being maintained, and then we are being inhaled, just to clean us up so we can get our shit together and do it right, because this is the process. And the reason why we have started this journey, for some, we don't even try to figure out what has happened, but the statement is pride before the fall. So for some reason we had some pride, so that pride conflicts with Krishna. So the conflict isn't so bad when it comes. So at first. So you don't go from Krishna and then be put with Mahā-Viṣṇu and Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu and then Super Soul. You don't be put like that in a very difficult position. No, you're given the abilities that are in Brahma. The abilities that are in Brahma are within every living entity who's come to this material world. And because that is true, then we know that we've misused. Because if you're listening to this and I'm talking this, we both have misused our independence. And so we have taken birth in different ways. And we don't want to know how many ways, but this shows that thousands of years under the time factor of Mahā-Viṣṇu, Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, and Super Soul, they have passed. Now, why is this so important? This shows spiritual nature never becomes what it's called the Brahman. The Brahman, it never goes under transformations. There's no transformation. You can't transform it. But a different energy can cover you. So what was that different energy? Krishna has three energies. His internal energy, his marginal energy, and his external energy. Now, to say external energy does not imply that it's not spiritual. Krishna says that my energy is spiritual, and it's very powerful. So, a spiritual energy, it is making this sequence. Here, the living entity is inside with super soul, and external energy has covered. Every living entity, it is covered. And that covering does not let you identify the other soul. You cannot identify everything that the external energy allows you to, but you cannot identify the soul. You can't even identify your own soul because you don't look inward. You're always looking outward because that's where most is happening. Because of the covering of the external energy, our vision, our smell, hearing, all our senses are projecting outside. They're not going inside. If we're able to go inside, we become connected with the super soul. And that's just the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. You know, that's second canto, about the second chapter. You know, realization of the super soul. That's just the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, how to realize the super soul. So this is not a university topic or anything. This is just the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm having to hold the stand of the phone because it's not working nicely. Okay, now we've got it. There is nothing that doesn't have life. This external energy certainly has spiritual life, and it's spiritual life. This living entity within that, he has life. So now, tell me, where is that energy that doesn't have life that came from Krishna? There's none. There is no energy that has come from Krishna, and I don't know where else you're going to get some energy. So, there's no energy that has gone through, and Krishna's energy does not go through transformations. I don't even go through a transformation, but apparently separately manifest. Apparently separately manifested. I can appear apparently separately manifest because of the covering of the external energy. And of course that external energy comes in the three modes. That's goodness, passion, passion and ignorance. Now, because of this external energy covering me, I have entered into this, you can say, frequency of, the exhalation of either Mahā-Viṣṇu, Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, and Paramatma. I have entered into that. And a good example is, and it's always a topic, that is light a photon? Is light a photon, an individual entity? Or is light only a frequency? And there's so many debates about it, but actually it's both. We are on the this is called the yantra. We are sitting on the yantra of Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu in one aspect. We are sitting on the yantra of Mahā-Viṣṇu in another aspect. And we are sitting on the yantra of Paramatma, his traveling. So we're always with the spiritual energy. We are always able to get the spiritual energy. So what does this external energy do? It brings attention to past and future. Here you're not seeing present. Yeah. Om puruṣamidam sarvam yat bhutam yasya bhavyam utam ritam yashashena yananena tadohati. That is the Purusha Shuktam. It is indicating the creation. But it says that the Purusha has manifested past and future. And how has he manifested that past and future? By the covering of his external energy. He is not manifested present. So we're never living in the present. We're always, regretful of the past, and we're always anxious for the future. So this is where our combination comes in. Now let me get something. I tried to put this out so you could see it. I hope it is visible, because it's better to quote things, and then people can. I can't make that bigger. Okay, so now the navel or the lake of Vishnu. I took this topic. So now Srila Prabhupada, talking to some devotees, was saying that they're trying to make a child without a woman. This is not a possibility. It's impossible. It's made possible by God. Yeah, it is made possible by God, Vishnu, Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, to produce a child from the navel. And this gives the name Urukrama to Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, which means as soon as the impossibility becomes possible, that is the form of Vishnu called Urukrama. So this is our birth. Yeah, this is our birth. Let's see if we can get this to go nicely. Okay. Okay. Now, this is also from the Srimad Bhagavatam. My dear Lord, the original puruṣa-avatāra, Mahā-Viṣṇu, acquires, and this is from 11th canto, acquires his creative potency from you. This is indicating that Krishna has given the potency to Mahā-Viṣṇu. Vishnu is an expansion. Krishna is the origin. So Krishna is the original. Even Bhagavatam states this. That's good bag. Oh, yeah, that's good bag. Oh, my God. So now, he's saying, the speaker here in the Bhagavatam is saying, my dear Lord, the original Purusha, the avatar, Mahā-Viṣṇu, acquires his creative potency from you. Thus, with this infallible energy, he impregnates the material nature, producing the mahat-tattva. He has taken nothing except living spiritual energy. Then the mahat-tattva amalgamated the material energy, endowed with the potency of the Lord himself. In other words, Krishna, you even gave him that potency. And produced from itself the primeval gold, or the golden egg, the universe, which is covered by various layers of material elements. Now, these material elements are not to be understood as material in the sense of without life. No, this is not material in the sense of without life. These are just the energies that are going to be used to convert into the false ego, the intelligence, the mind, the ether, Then it'll produce air. Then it'll produce fire, water, and finally earth. So all these are coverings. But again, these are all spiritual energies. These are not material energies that are being used. Now the timeline of the progression of the creation is being described to us. Krishna gives the potency to impregnate the universe with his first Purusha, Mahā-Viṣṇu. And how does it appear? It says it appears like a golden egg, but no, eggs, what do? They give birth to a little chicken, right? So within that egg are all the living entities that are going to take birth. So Mahā-Viṣṇu, he is producing not one egg, he's producing innumerable eggs, innumerable universes. Not one, innumerable eggs, innumerable universes. So now we're still in the embryo stage. Now, the timeline of the progression of the creation is being described here. Krishna gives the potency to impregnate the universe with his first Purusha, Mahā-Viṣṇu. The embryo produced is the golden egg. That does not imply that it must be round. Understand, it doesn't have to be round like an egg like we see it. The golden hue from the semen, which is actually the embryo, an embryo which is not covered as of yet, gives a golden hue off. We all glow like gold. That's why we are so attracted to gold, because actually the living entity glows like gold. It isn't that gold made us, but we glow like gold. Then from Mahā-Viṣṇu's expansion comes Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu. Garbo means embryo. So he is taking these embryos in the sense of the semen of the golden hue. Still, these embryos, they're emanating from Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu. They are not covered as of yet. So this golden hue is coming off. This is emanating from his genital and falling into the navel lake of Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu. So we understand that in Vishnu, the right side is masculine and the left side is feminine. This description is of utmost importance for one to establish. This does not show any material energy. This doesn't show anything without life. So let's see. I can go to another one. I wish I could make this stop. At this point, I just want to bring to the attention of everybody that what is occurring to us at this time and point. At this time and point, of course, our existence is being reduced to material energy. And as Prabhupada pointed out, that it's impossible for them to make anything, produce anything. So with this impossibility, they are trying to do the impossible. And they're trying to say to us, we are going to produce without a woman. They're going to take life out. But what are they attacking? First of all, they're attacking us. But worse than that, they're attacking Supersoul. And of course, they're attacking Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu. And they're attacking Mahā-Viṣṇu. And they're attacking Krishna. They are saying that these others are not telling you the truth. Because we can do it. We can make a perfect AI person. No. Impossible. They only have a energy that appears to them to be separated. That's all they have, is an energy that appears to them. I'm holding this. Crazy. Okay. Appears to be. And within that energy, they're trying to attack us. They're trying to take this as only energy, and it doesn't have any eternal aspect to it, and we're going to use it as we want it. So it's not something to mess with. This is called reductionism, where you reduce everything as, and it's not very logical. They find so many levels of existence, and then they declare that they've got to the end of what is everything, and there's nothing more. Yeah. I'll get a little bit more input. By investigating this, but this is sufficient for a beginning. One thing is there's so many time factors. Each one of the time factors is increasingly bigger. Of course, Krishna is without a time factor. He's time itself. But not just because of us. The apparently separately manifested illusion has come in. Just for us. Out of love for us. He has given this. And he's passed it down from Mahā-Viṣṇu to Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu to the super soul. That's a lot of love. And if one feels actually love for God, or tries to feel love for God, then one would not want to accept such a proposition that they can actually produce something that wasn't coming from Krishna. Something material that wasn't coming from Krishna, something that they can produce within their factories. Yeah. I like that quote from Srila Prabhupada. I'll just read it one more time. Trying to make a child without a woman is an impossibility. But only it is made possible by God, like Vishnu, Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, produced a child from the navel. So, this gives him the name of Urukrama. I don't think any of these personalities that do the AI can be given the name Urukrama, that you can do the impossible. And they did the impossibility because of our position. Not because they wanted to, but because of our position. Like I was saying, on that line of electricity, you could say that there's photons, you could say that it's actually just frequency, but the yantra is the sitting place of the living entity is on the yantra of time, in the time factor of the super soul, in the time factor of Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, in the time factor of Mahā-Viṣṇu. So we're sitting, that's our sitting place, that's our personal sitting place. We have never been left. And of course, Krishna is the total observer of what's happening here. So, you can see how much love that he hasn't just thrown us in some jail and then locked us up or anything like that. No, he has given us an opportunity to come out of this. But the failure to see life and everything is not a good symptom. You'll be here for a long time. No, life is within everything. Even those that are attacking, they cannot get out of this position that they're covered by the living, they're covered by the external energy. They are also covered by the external energy. And they're coming up with this notion that everything is covered by the external energy. And the external energy gives the vision of past and future. People lament for the past and they're in anxiety for the future. This is not a very tranquil position. It's like a continuous fight when you try to go into the past and the future and change it. So our object is just to bring out this important fact. And another important fact was given here also, that, and this is Bhagavatam, 11th canto, it's stating that Krishna gave Vishnu the potency. I wouldn't mind going to one of the planets of Vishnu, no problem for that. But it should be understood that Krishna gave the potency to Vishnu so he could do this. Because of his love for us, he has done this. And of course, he wants us back. So I hope to get this out. I hope that this was audible. I'm not using a microphone, so it may not be so audible, but I hope this is audible. And I was approached because I was stating that the golden semen of Lord Vishnu has fallen into the lake. And here we see that that is the case. Not only the case in Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, but in Mahā-Viṣṇu also. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.